Wow, okay, so what a week. This has felt like the first week that I've felt like me, like the old me, before I lost my brother and my world went to shit me. Yeah, it's been a while since I've gone out there, networked, done events, put myself out there, had meetings. I've been basically a recluse for a few months now, and picking yourself up, trying to jump back into a business where you're insanely social and your whole business revolves around networking. And being really high energy and just out there and talking to people all the time, it's difficult when obviously you're going through grief. So like, this is the first week that I'm trying to pick myself up and be back to myself, and it's felt great. And actually, do you know what? A lot of great things happened this week, and obviously it's not because of the effects of this week, it's because of, you know, loads of things built up. And but like, I want to review some of the great things the week has brought me this week. I want to start off with that because I think it's been a great week. So I've had an article published in entrepreneur.com. I used to write for them all the time, haven't done for a while, so I'm back doing that, which is really exciting. I was on a podcast with a former dragon from Dragon's Den, which is really cool, and that was released this week. I kicked off a new agency client, which is always nice, so I've got kind of new projects for the agency to deal with, which is lovely. I have been invited to 3 different speaking gigs, which is nuts. Obviously not all this week, it's, you know, some of them in months to come, but it's really nice to be wanted, and so I've had interviews for those. I've met with a potential investor. I've met so many insane people from events, and like just so many exciting people, like, you know, connected with them, gonna do like really exciting things with them. So really happy to be out there doing stuff like that. I've got some really cool events coming up. Like I said, I'm bringing back knobs. I'm kind of, you know, planning some exciting things. So check out some cool venues too. I caught up with loads of friends, and actually did some stuff for myself as well, which is really nice. I've been a guest on another podcast, and hopefully got a potential new freelance client coming in too. So I feel like it's been really exciting, and plus I got some exercise in, got my apartment cleaned, and I've got a free weekend ahead, so I'm feeling pretty pumped. And there's something super exciting happening, which I can't actually say yet, it's hush, so that's coming soon, so stay tuned. But yeah, I feel like it's been a good week. So let's break down the week as I usually do, to see how I kind of spent each day, so you can understand how a very busy portfolio entrepreneur spends their week. So I'm back doing my vlogs, and I don't really know how I feel about it, because I felt like it was intrusive to my life before, but then I met so many people who were saying documenting their life has been the best thing they've ever done, and so I thought, oh, I'd give it another go. And so here I am. It's before 7 a.m. on a Monday morning, and I'm up and I'm on my way out, and I'm off to Soho House, White City, which is why I'm up so early, because I live all the way in the other part of town, off for a team day. And yeah, I am not a morning person, as most people who've seen me know. So this is quite early for me to be up and about. And I'm surprisingly okay, because I feel like I just had a really relaxing weekend. I had a staycation in the Four Seasons Hotel, no less, and I just sparred the whole weekend, did lots of nice things, and so I'm feeling pretty prepared for today, hence the kind of more chirpy attitude for the morning. Usually I'll be waking up going so, right, this is going to be my week, a normal standard week in the life, and let's see how it goes. I pretty much spent the whole day just catching up with the team, brainstorming, going through things, and so I didn't really think about other aspects of the business, which was kind of nice in a way, because I got to catch up and just kind of do the things for the clients and help the team. But also at the same time, it was really nice, like planning client stuff and brainstorming and doing bigger picture things. So yeah, I pretty much ate breakfast there with the team, and then brainstormed, and then stayed there all day. Took a break to go look at some really cool event spaces, which is really nice. So kind of sick like event spaces that will be really great for panel discussions. And then I sat down for dinner while brainstorming kind of what I would love a Knobs Members Club physical space to look like, and whether that's viable. That's something that's been on my mind for a long time. And yeah, just kind of clocked out. So I had my tea and then went off to a dance class. Yeah, it did. I hadn't done dance in years, but found this guy who is so awesome. Yeah, big up to Joelle Fontaine, who runs these amazing dance classes called At Your Beat. Super high energy fitness, just a nice vibe. So I kind of did a sign up for one of those, and I am doing that like twice a week now, which is super exciting. So I kind of get back into feeling good. Yeah, that was how I spent my Monday. So let's rate productivity. So I've given my Monday a 5 out of 10 for productivity. Only because I was on my team stuff, but I didn't get all the things that I was supposed to do. And I feel like I can't really judge it on that, because actually I was really productive with my team. Like, we were able to sit together and, like, you know, just voice things really easily when we're together in the same room and come up with really good kind of plans. So I've given it a 5 out of 10 because it's somewhere in the middle. But here's my hourly breakdown. I spent an hour 43 on client stuff, and the only time I was able to do that was on the train there and back from White City. Like I said, it was an hour 15 on the way there, and then I went to the dance class and come back, and so I had about an hour 43 of productivity time that I could get stuff done on the train. And yeah, I didn't care, get my laptop out. No one even notices me. Fantastic. And then essentially 8 hours with the team on, like, you know, team stuff. So I've ruled that out, but that's what I spent. And then an hour 35 on strategizing the business. And that was me when I sat down for dinner, because, you know, laptops after 6 p.m. are not allowed in Soho House. So I sat down with food, notebook and pen, old school way, and with a tea afterwards, and just strategize. And that was it. It's just like, can I open up a location for knobs? Will I? Is it the sensible thing to do? Yeah, I mean, it was fun, but I've got a lot more research to do, and that's essentially what I've been doing for a while. And so Monday's total was 11 hours and 18 minutes. So pretty long day, but that's because I left super early in the morning and was working on the train, and then I went to a dance class, and so therefore kind of added up the totals, and it felt like it's a longer day than it was because I was also with my team. So yeah, strange one really. Morning. So I am working from home today, at least the first half of the day. Needed a bit of rest after yesterday. I got back at 10:30 and left the house before 7, so it was quite a long day, totally exhausted. And so today is all about getting shit done for clients and getting myself organised, getting some filming done as well. I've put in a filming morning, and basically tidying my apartment because it's a mess right now, and I like to be in a nice zen zone, and I've just not been at home for a long time. I've been out sorting stuff out, so this is also my only day at home this week, other than a bit of time on Friday. So busy week, and I want to get things sorted. I sat down and just really worked on also our content calendar, because we're managing so many accounts at the moment, and I want to kind of get up to grips with it. It's so easy to just ignore social media because I've got so much client work to do and so many more important things, and I know that people really value seeing social media, and I know that it does work to kind of have content out there. I'm so busy doing the things that don't have time to show people I'm doing the things, and it's just all very silly. And I know I've got a team that can help me do that, but I have to inevitably give them the content, organise the content, decide the strategy, and do all that sort of stuff before I can give it to my team to execute. And I just haven't really had the time to do that. So I'm trying now to do that. I'm trying to dedicate some time. So I did a bit of that today, but I still haven't had much of a time to do it this week. So I'm sitting in one of the members clubs I'm a member of, and it's super gorgeous here, but it's so dark. It's like kind of moody, cute lighting in this room. Look, take a look. It's like old school luxury vibes. Like, I would so love to live here, but I swear, like, a kid lived here back in the day. Anyway, this is where I'm like doing my work, and I've got like Zoom calls, and whilst on this camera it looks good, my camera on my laptop does not look good. Like, I mean, it's fuzzy as hell. Look at that. Like, it looks such poor quality, and I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for my person to come join Zoom, or Google Meets, whatever, and I look so amateur. So I hope this call goes well. Wish me luck. I got to go to an event by Asprey, the guys who make really quality British stuff. Like, so I got to see their gorgeous handbags, their like backgammon sets, and really like hand-blown glass like vases and cocktail shakers and all these beautiful things, and then learn the history of Asprey and how they've been there since a gazillion years and just constantly producing quality stuff. So I love doing events like that and learning about brands that are just producing the high-end stuff, because I also believe that, like, you know, like I said, I'm very much of the ilk of I want to be Prada, not Primark. I don't want to be catering for the masses and lowering my prices and trying to compete with people who are just trying to do things cheaper and quicker and worse. I want to produce great quality content. So I want to work with brands who are only interested in doing things really high quality. And if they have to charge more for that, then so be it, because you get what you paid for in life. So today I rated it as a 7 out of 10 for productivity, and my breakdown for the hours are: I spent an hour 22 on the content calendar. I spent an hour 17 on our client kickoff call. It's supposed to be an hour, always goes over. But then I spent an extra hour 32 doing research for that kickoff call. Did research earlier last week, but extra research before the call, so had to get that in. So I make sure I learned a lot of things about the brand first before going to kick off the meeting, so I could ask some questions. An hour 39 on meetings, 2 hours 7 on client work, and 1 hour 56 doing planning. So that is a total of 8 hours 21. Good morning, it's Wednesday, and I've pretty much got my standard Wednesday where I just take the morning off to try and catch up with client stuff and get my office organised and tidy, and then I have my school that I teach at, and then this evening I've got an event this evening. Pretty excited. It's a friend who's launched their book, which they've been working on for a couple of years, so I get to see him finally do that, and it's going to be a proud moment for me to see him work so hard and get what he would deserve. So I'm really excited about that. But this morning it's all about getting shit done and getting sorted. So let's sort out my office, make sure it's super tidy, so I'm in a good working environment, and just bash stuff out. So Wednesday was kind of my standard Wednesday. I teach at a school on Wednesdays and Thursday afternoons, so usually it's business stuff in the mornings, school in the afternoons, and so I had a pretty productive morning. I just did loads of client stuff, got loads of stuff done, and just felt really good about the day, got some more planning in and prepped for the lesson. And that was it. Ran some errands as well, so I managed to get stuff done, like personal things, like going to the post office and getting stuff done, like picking up prescriptions, all those sort of things. Got all that done in the day as well, which was really nice. And then even got there early to my school, and then sat in the park and just worked a bit in the park, and had loads of time to read a book. And it was really nice, just break down to my day in terms of work in the morning, running business work, and then school work, teaching, breaking up the day. And then I got to go to a friend's book launch in the evening, and it was so lovely. Like, this friend, his name is Charlie Rogers, he's been a guest on my podcast. You can check that out on No Bullshit Talks. He is a phenomenal guy, but it's also the fact that he's worked so hard for this book. This book has been like 5 years in the making, and I read it before it came out, and I was so proud that he'd worked so hard and built his own framework within the book. It's not like the typical business books are just regurgitations of other people's business books. It's real, authentic, true, new stuff, and he's worked really hard on it, and he deserves everything. And the room of people who turned up for him were just brilliant. I met so many great people in that room, and a couple of old faces too, which was really nice to reconnect with. I mean, you just have good people in your network, and they breed other good people, which is literally what I'm trying to do with Knobs, that you're in rooms with great other people. And he also has a community called the Undefinable community, which I kind of relate to. It's people who do so many things, like a portfolio entrepreneur, stuff like that. So I feel like he's a great person. Go check him out, check out all his stuff. And I managed to get myself to his book launch, and I loved it. It was just so great to see so much love for him in that room, and totally proud of what he's done. So I'd give my productivity score today a 7 out of 10. So I feel like it was a good sort of day. I feel like I can never give it like a 10 out of 10 because of the fact that I do break it up with my school and the event, and so therefore I can't be working in those times. But again, if you think about the event as also networking, I met loads of great people there, so I feel like that should technically be counting. But I'm just going to do it in terms of productivity and getting stuff done, because I feel like that's how lots of people measure it. So I did 3 hours 32 of client work, 1 hour 14 of planning, and then teaching 2.5 hours. So technically my day was 7 hours 16, which is technically a short day. But like I said, I was at 2 hours or whatever of networking and met some fantastic people. It's a Thursday. I feel like it was a really unproductive day, but it's because I had so many meetings. I just had meetings spread out throughout the morning, and then I had triage sessions. So I do these business triage sessions, which are 20-minute free sessions that any business owner can sign up to, where I help to diagnose the business and find out what's going wrong and where opportunities lie and things I could do within their positioning. And so I do a lot of those, and so I had meetings, I had triages, and so I felt like it kind of stopped me getting any deep work done, which is obviously what the problem is when you have sort of scheduling meetings. And I feel like I should kind of go back to just doing meetings days and like kind of deep work days and stuff like that. But right now when I'm trying to get back into things, it's kind of hard to do that. I filmed an episode for my YouTube channel, and then I went to my school, and then went to a podcast, and that's pretty much all I did all day, which feels like not very much, but maybe I did achieve much. Maybe I'm being like kind of hard on myself, but I look at the breakdown and I've had 2 hours of 12 minutes of meetings. I've had 53 minutes of triages. It's supposed to be 20 minutes each, but everyone always runs over. I did 51 minutes of filming, 28 minutes doing school admin, an hour 44 of client work, and then teaching for 2.5 hours. And then the thing is, I went to my podcast, and it was the most insanely long podcast ever. Great conversation, obviously, but 2 hours, 25 minutes at my podcast. So it felt like a very, 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 very long day, but didn't really feel like I got much done, which is why I ended up giving it 3 out of 10 for productivity score. And that is a total of 11 hours, 3 minutes. So it was a long day. And yeah, just felt like the output didn't match what it is. But again, spent 2.5 hours talking to someone. So obviously that's like an in-depth relationship I'm building on. Obviously did get some client work done, did get a YouTube video done. I have to remember this. I had 2 triages, so technically they could become potential clients. I had several meetings. So I need to not be so hard on myself. See what I mean? Like, it's so easy to do. I gave it a 3 out of 10, but really, yeah, I'm thinking outputs only, which is what so many business owners do. And I'm catching myself falling for this bullshit. Hi, so it's finally Friday, and I'm really liking the fact that today is my quietest day of the week, and it should be. Now I feel like I'm trying to make Fridays a nice quiet day where I can get stuff done and wind down. I feel like I've got a weekend ahead of me to get all the bits and bobs ready. I'm just gonna get some stuff done this morning, and I've got this like cool City of London walking tour, which I'm really excited about. And then I'm gonna come back, just record some stuff, and then I've got like a nice social evening where I've got some friends coming in from America and out of town to just have a catch up. So today's gonna be a nice slow day, exactly what I need. Hoping to get to the gym and the spa as well, so I feel all kind of round good way to end the week. I think that's what Friday should be about, really. So let's see how it goes. Today is Friday, and I have just come back to record this video before I head out for dinner. I've got to meet a friend for drinks, well, multiple friends who are all catching up because one of them's flown into the country and they're not usually around, so it's going to be great. Which means I feel like I've done hardly anything today, even more so than yesterday. I definitely have. I struggled to get out of bed this morning. I really did. And it's not like I even drank last night. I didn't do any of that. It's just I just struggled this morning. I'm so tired. I guess again, busy week. I've been out every single night after work, right? I've had very long days, so I'm struggling to stay awake. And so this morning I just did a bit of writing, so got some content done, and then I went on a walking tour of the City of London, which was so nice. It was like really good. It was run by my club, and just got to learn a bit of history of where around the club is, around the Tower Bridge area and City of London, and yeah, fascinating. And like there's so much to learn, and so I loved it. It was like a great little thing to do, feel good, and also met loads of people on the tour. And that's kind of what made me end up not doing anything. I was supposed to go back into the club, get loads of stuff done, even go to the gym, even go to the spa. I said this morning, right, that I'm gonna do all that, and then I just basically got there, met some people on the tour, and we just started talking, and we just all loved chatting, and we found out like we all had loads of loves in common for London, places to go eat and do, and actually all these people were really cool, successful people in their own rights, and it was just so nice to have like real conversations with genuinely successful people. And this is something I talk about all the time with knobs, and what I'm trying to build is that I am so tired of being in a room full of influencers who are wannabe people who pretend that they're successful but really they don't have any experience. And these guys, I'm by far the least successful person in any of these rooms, and I love it. I love the fact that I can learn from all these people and just hear from them. And yeah, so I decided, screw it, I'm gonna go hang out with them. And so we had a lunch at the club and had a cocktail and just chatted more. And yeah, that's how you build up relationships. And you know, not thinking that this is gonna lead to business or anything, but that's not what it's about. It's just about meeting great people and learning from them, and just having intellectual conversations that stimulate you and inspire you and motivate you. It's not about finding people who can refer you business. And I think that's where so many people go wrong, is that They go to these networking events and think, can this person work with me? Are they a good partner? Can they refer business? How does it all work? And it's not about that. It's like finding people who you think are great at what they do, because there's always something you can learn, no matter what they're doing, what industry they're in, how old they are, or anything. Like, just it's about the attitude, the intellect, and the resilience and determination and grit for me. I ended up staying at the club for much longer than I should have done, and then I've just come back to walk my dog and get this recorded and sent out any last client stuff and some content, and I am then checking out for the day. So I've had a very short day, and so I've given the productivity score 2 out of 10. Pretty bad end of the week, because I've only done 1 hour 11 of client work, 42 minutes of content, and 36 minutes of filming after this is finished, which is only a 2 hours and 29 minutes total of work, which is pretty bad. But I feel like I'm also going to make up some time this weekend because I've got a lot of time. But let's just take a look at how the week has gone in general, because this is why I'm happy to end the week on that sort of productivity level. So a lot of great stuff has happened this week. I started off with the list of all these amazing things, but yet at the same time, it doesn't really look as though I've done a lot. I feel somewhat unproductive, but it's not that. I've actually done 40 hours and 27 minutes in total of work, right? But if you include the events in there, you include the networking, it's an extra 7.5 hours of networking, which is technically a full day of networking, right? And I gotta realize, because networking is an essential part of my business. Without it, it doesn't go around. In fact, so many people, it should be an essential part of the business, and I should really include that in the total, and then it would improve my productivity and score, because I'm sort of looking at output as like, how many posts have I done, how many emails have I sent, how much like physical client work have I done, how many things have I checked off on my to-do list. And this is the bullshit trap that so many of my clients fall into, that I highlight, and I'm doing it myself. So many clients want output, but they don't understand the strategy and all the different steps you've made. And I've managed to speak to so many people this week about the business concept for knobs and what it looks like, financials. I've spoken to founders of private members clubs, what they think about it. I've just had so many really deep conversations, which are bigger strategy, bigger picture, business boardroom thinking, which is huge. It's actually really, really productive for my business, but it's not a tangible thing that I can just be like, oh, check, I've done that. And so this is what's been really difficult kind of to put in the productivity. And I think this is where people fall for the productivity traps. And it's so easy for you to do that yourself. You can hear me doing it as I'm doing it, which is why I kind of do these series, because I want people to realize productivity is often a myth and how they do it. It's really about whatever propels your business. And networking massively does that. So in that sense, I've had a great week. I've had such a productive week. I've gone out every single day, met new people every single day this week. I literally have. So Monday I went to a dance class, met new people. Tuesday I went to that Aspirate event, and actually I've spoken to Aspirate about doing something with them. Amazing. And then like Wednesday I went to that book launch. Met so many great people at the book launch, and obviously supporting Charlie, fantastic. Thursday was yesterday, and I went to a podcast, and I obviously had a one-on-one with him and built up that relationship. And Friday now going out with friends, and went out this obviously thing in the day, walking tour, met new people. I met new people every single day this week. That is kind of crazy, and that's amazing. And you know, you got to think about each of those people that you've met and what you've learned from each of those people and what that could potentially lead to. So really, I've been so insanely productive, but I haven't just kind of realised it. But you know, I feel like it's been a light week because I've also spent time catching up with friends, and you know, like I said, I've been out for different places, and I've even had time to do a dance class and do some wellness stuff, got to the spa and actually feel kind of good about myself. So I don't know, it says light week, but maybe that's what I feel like I should be doing weeks. I guess I'm kind of finishing up really late each week, so it doesn't feel that light. But it's the first week that I felt like it's been normal. It felt like my old life has come back. And I just can't wait for what this means and how I can include more in-person stuff going forward. So I hope you enjoy kind of what a genuine week in the life of a portfolio entrepreneur looks like. Someone who's super busy and out there needing to network, but also run a business and produce client work for freelance and agency side of things, and you know, kind of also produce content for themselves as a personal brand. So juggling all these things is quite hard. But look, I started off with all those things I achieved. I managed to do that, even though it's a kind of messy week and I was busy. But I am tired, and that's why I knew that I was going to have a free weekend this weekend. I didn't have to do anything, and that's why I kind of was happy to pack up my week, because I know now I can recover and just do nothing for 2 days. So I will recover, and I will see you in the next week in the life, so you can see what I get to then.